We are now at this really cool, I don't even know how else to describe it. I'm going to leave it up to Aaron Frescas, who is the co-owner here at Nica on 4th Street. Tell me how you describe this very cool, I feel like it's very zen vibe here.
Well, it's the coolest bar in town.
Of course
That's
it
the way
is.
to describe it. So we're a high-end cocktail, fine wine, great beer, in the backdrop of 1930s, 40s, jazz music. The aesthetics have been borrowed from that era.
Yeah.
The thing about this place is that we don't refer to it as a music venue, because when you go to a music venue, you go to watch a show, the most important person is the person on stage.
Yeah.
What we want for our guests here is that the most important person is the person they're sharing their table with. So, it's just a very immersive, guest experience driven. There happens to be jazz going on.
Yeah.
There happens to be great cocktails and great wine. But what we really want is just an enormously immersive experiential place for people to, that's like nothing else in town.
Yeah. So you've been thinking about this idea, this concept for a long time. Why did you think it worked in this space?
Well, location, but then, more importantly, we've got 2 bars that Chris and I operate, each of them with very different personalities. Right next door, we've got Parker Jazz Club, which is, one of the best sounding rooms in town, or in the country rather, with the finest musicians in jazz from not just around Austin, but all over the country and in some occasions all over the world. And then we have the exact opposite over in Elephant Room. It's been there for 35 years, which is very much a bar with, great music going on, but, it's a bar. So we've got a bar on one hand, we've got a jazz theater on the other hand, and there just seemed an opportunity to take the 2 concepts and meet in the middle, so that people can come to downtown Austin and literally visit all 3 venues and have very different experiences at Elephant Room and Parker, but then come to Nica and it's kind of like both of them.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love like the femininity, like the name Nica, the aesthetic. Tell me about where the name came from.
So that was my business partner Chris's idea. We were tossing around a lot of ideas, and he threw out Nica, and we all needed to be educated on the history of Nica. Every jazz player knows who Nica is.
Yes.
So Nica was Pano Nica de Königsmörder, and she was a Baroness de Rothschild. And so she came over across the pond from England in the 50s, fell in love with jazz, befriended players like Thelonious Monk, Charlie Parker, and became sort of a benefactor to these people. Helped them pay their rent, buy their groceries, give them a place to live, but she was just such an enormous contributor to jazz at a point in jazz when it was still kind of in its infancy.
Yeah.
And she gets a lot of credit for really giving these musicians the opportunity to continue to do what they love.
Yeah. And how have you guys taken what she did and really immersed it in here?
Well, that's a great question. And I want to choose my words very politically.
You don't have to do that, just say it.
There are a lot of incredible jazz players in Austin who have dominated the jazz scene for decades. And there are a lot of guys who are earning their stripes, guys and gals,
Yes.
And so similarly to what Nica did, that's what we want to do with our stage, is we don't want to just give gigs to the guys who are already getting gigs.
Yeah.
We certainly have those players here. We have the best players coming here, but we also want to give an opportunity to the guys that are competing, who are trying to get their name out there.
So what do when people come in, obviously they're here to connect with each other, listen to the music, enjoy a drink. What are you hoping the holistic experience is like for people when they're in here and when they leave?
I want people to come in here and completely forget where they are in terms of what's going on outside of the walls. The word immersive, I keep going back to that because it's so transformative. Like Chris honestly worked so hard on building an aesthetic. You walk, our door's right by the alley, you walk down the stairs, it's not particularly wow factor outside, but then as soon as you walk in, it's like you just stepped into a time machine. And we want people to come here and then walk out the door and go, man, how long have we been here? Like, I just want to stay.
Yeah, I love that. Well, come down and enjoy some amazing music. We're going to listen to some great music here at Nica on 4th Street.